Hello, I'm David. I'm a community manager for Forge of Empires Germany, and I'm here with Marcel, a game designer for Forge of Empires. And we're here to talk about an upcoming feature of the game called cultural settlements. And to do that, I'll be asking you a few questions that I think our players will be interested in.
Sure.
And to start out, our more seasoned players of the game probably know about the updates we have been doing. And so far, we've always been going into the future for the game, but now we're going to be exploring a culture of the past. And what made you decide to go into this direction for the game?
Yeah, so Forge has always been a game about humankind's history. And so for a few years now, we've been going into the future, as you already mentioned. And we felt there were a few bits of mankind's history that we were lacking, that we were missing out. And we felt we should deliver those to make the game complete. And we of course couldn't squeeze in an older culture at the end of the future. So what we did is coming up with a new feature that could hold these old cultures and also make sense in the whole, how the workings of the game. And that's why we came up with cultural settlements, which is more a feature on the side that you can do, where you pursue those older cultures and help them build little settlements. And we will be releasing new cultures in the future to explore even more of that.
Our players are already familiar with going into the future with the new updates for the game, but what are the core differences between this and, say, virtual future, for example?
So first off, the new ages will not be harmed in any way. So we'll still come up with new ages. There will be a new big age next year after we are done with a virtual future, where there will be a third installment rather soon. And so that will not be harmed in any way. And the cultural settlements are more a feature on the side that people can pursue if they want to. It's more like an optional thing, but it has some really cool rewards and people will want them. So so how it works is once we release the feature, you'll be able to select a culture. For now, it's just the Vikings, but there will be more to come. And then there's a Questgiver of that culture who will ask you to help that culture to build a thriving village so they become self-sustainable. And you help building that up. And once you're done, you get the cool rewards, and then you're able to select another culture or the same one even. And we prepared a series of rewards even for the same culture. So even if you played the Vikings 10, 15 times, you get something different every time. So it even makes sense to repeat it. And we also have some mechanics in there so that the building of the city is interesting every time. So the challenge will change dynamically a bit.
So we're obviously starting out with the Vikings. What made you settle on this one as the first culture to explore for the game?
Yeah, so everyone should know that the future will be unlocked with the late Iron Age technologies. I think it's Plowing. And so that's right before you hit early Middle Ages. So usually when a player unlocks the feature, they should be right starting with the early Middle Age. And we think about that time. It makes sense to have the Vikings as an accompanying culture. So in the early Middle Ages, the Vikings were also a big culture, so it just made sense. And we will be unlocking some of the older cultures as well in the future. Everything that makes sense along that timeline. So that's why we picked the Vikings. Also, they are super cool and iconic, and people recognize them easily.
Cool helmets, axes.
Sure.
All the good things. Yeah, nice. So let's say I'm done with the Vikings. I got my cool rewards, and I'm happy with that. What other cultures are we gonna explore in the future then?
So after the Vikings, we're actually not settled yet what it will be. So that will largely depend also on the feedback from community. So what they would like to see, what we can do. Maybe we will add some new mechanics for some of the newer cultures, that they have something unique to them and they play a bit differently. But of course, if you're thinking about old cultures, something like ancient Egypt comes to mind, feudal Japan, maybe some nice little Polynesian village if we want something more idyllic. But we're just not settled on this list. But mankind's history is very rich, so there's a lot to pull from.
This feature is going to start on beta very soon. But we already know that the beta test is going to take a little bit longer this time in comparison to previous things we have tested on our beta. So how come that this is a little bit longer this time?
So we implemented this feature for a long time. It took us multiple weeks to build it, so it's pretty huge. It's a very big addition to the game, and we just want to make sure it meets the quality standards that we all anticipate, and so it needs an extended period of testing. Also, finishing one settlement takes about 21 days if you're really active, and we need beta testers to have the chance to finish them, ideally like twice or 3 times even, so we can get their feedback on the balancing and how the end rewards feel, all these things. And that's simply the reason why it takes so long. And then once we feel the quality is ready, we can also release it for the live worlds.
So when do you expect this feature to go live for our normal players that are not playing on beta?
Yeah, like I mentioned already, we need the feedback from the beta community and see how the quality goes, how the balancing goes, all these things, and how many improvements we want to do before it's being released on the live worlds. But we anticipate we can release it very early 2019, so people should not be having to wait too long.
Sounds good. And we hope we could give you a little bit of an overview of what we have planned for the game and what's going to be available on beta very soon. And we hope that you have a chance to play it on beta, give us some feedback, help us make this feature great, make the game great, and give you some cool insights into the cultural history that makes Forge of Empires what it is in a lot of ways.